Is this an alternative to Skillbridge? Hey, I am Chuck the Bureaucrat, and lately I've been corresponding with one of you, a retiring colonel, who reports that it seems as though the Skillbridge program is starting to follow the typical pattern of a program that's cool, helpful, that benefits transitioning service members and veterans. The way this pattern usually plays out is there's some new program that's really beneficial, but it seems as though not many people know about it, and the people who are taking advantage of it tend to be pretty senior. So, in order to increase participation, there's something of an advertising campaign to spread the word. But as utilization starts to increase, the associated costs also go up, and then there's an effort to try to limit who uses a program. Now, to be fair, this process of limiting participation usually takes the form of trying to stop senior people like colonels and sergeants majors, but trying to stop the senior people from gobbling up all the goodies and leaving the junior enlisted empty-handed. And that seems to be the direction that the Skillbridge program is headed. Colonels with 2 master's degrees and a PhD and contacts all over the Pentagon who intend to stay in the Northern Virginia area and work as a contractor, well, they don't exactly need an internship for 6 months with some contracting company. Which brings me back to this transitioning colonel that I've been talking to. His command has been less than eager to send him off on some kind of Skillbridge adventure. But at the same time, he is retiring. His primary job has already been handed off. He's got TAP and Soldier for Life classes to attend. He's got permissive TDY and terminal leave. He's going away. And so, as much as his command wants to hold on to him, they really can't just hand him some sort of vague 20-month task to complete. He is becoming retired on active duty. Road. The exact thing that he has spent so much time trying not to be. And so, there he has a dilemma. He's not able to do Skillbridge, but at the same time, he's road. Well, he started thinking about something he calls a road scholarship. And it's a pretty good idea that you might want to consider yourself. Essentially, it works this way. What you want to do is something that would improve your resume and, at the same time, might be helpful to the command. And the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of tasks that fit that bill that are, they're sort of a pain in the neck and they're low priority for your peers who are still gunning for the top block. Want to learn how the GS hiring process works? Hey, volunteer to sit on hiring panels. It might help you in your own job search. Want to learn more about your finances? Volunteer to be the unit tax advisor. You want to round out your resume so it doesn't sound so much like an infantry first sergeant? Well, volunteer to do some sort of supply accountability work with the brigade. You want to just help people out? Volunteer on some quirky task. Or you can go even further. Just ask your boss, your peers, what kind of things they want done. And look, it's not like you have to just do whatever they say. You want that road scholarship. You want to do something that improves your personal future prospects. If it helps the organization, that's just gravy. This is pretty much what happened to me back in late 2022. My boss had some serious cold feet about the Skillbridge program, but he teed up a whole bunch of little tasks that were perfect for a full-fledged colonel, even one who was road, who was thinking about getting into the consulting business. There was this salesman who just kept coming around, badgering my boss. So my boss is like, figure out what's up with this guy. Bottom line, even though this guy would have long, boring phone calls, he never got around to the bottom line that he was trying to sell a subscription to a service, and the cost for that subscription was $180,000. The lesson I learned is, you gotta tell the customer the price And if the customer is not interested, they're not your customer. There was this other project he put me on where there were complaints coming from the finance clerks. They were kind of vague, but they seemed very, very angry. So I sit down with these guys, I listen to what their issue is. It turns out that there's an Army system that used to take bulk uploads, but now you have to do uploads line by line. It's very time consuming. So I track down the system owner, I talk to the contracting officer, they get a message to the software developers. It turns out there was a single line of code that had been changed and nobody had really thought anything of it. So it was a simple fix, and I got a really good story that I use for interviews. Well, you get the idea. Properly arranged, this Road Scholarship gives you new experiences, it gives you more material for your resumes and job interviews, and it gives you a sense that you contributed to the organization to the very end. Now, I'm confident that this is not a new idea. I'm sure that over the years, many of you have done similar things, and I would be interested to hear what kind of experiences you had. But I will acknowledge that there is a caution here. You have to remember that when you retire, the organization is going to go on without you. So watch this video to keep your final days in perspective.